by two people. Isabel and Ketchum were interviewing Nancy Bahada, the transportation.
She works at the Department of Transportation for New York.
We were taking measurements and everything of the crosswalks to see who crosses where. We're taking statistics.
We found out some of them.
In New York, in long crosswalks, they actually have I didn't see many, but
not in all places.
but
There was
there's some.
We went to two places, two streets before the interview ended, and we met up and did some other stuff around there. One of them was a really, really good crosswalk. Shortened to as far as they could shorten it. I think what happened for that whole block was the block sort of went like that into the crossing on that side. Narrowed it as far as they could and still keep it safe on both sides. Their traffic lights were timed perfectly and everything. And that one was really good. But then we went down a block this way, and there was one, it was 2 lanes to it was 2 lanes and a curve, and the curves, to 3 lanes, a bus lane and the curves, like a bus/taxi lane and the curves. And it was just messed up there. Traffic light timing was off. This one was way longer than it needed to be. The curves were seriously from here to here or so, enough for the highway. And it just messed up.
Another thing we noticed is that if there are no cars, pedestrians will cross.
Yeah.
No
and in some
matter what,
cases,
it's not safe.
more pedestrians crossed when it was a red light than when they were supposed to. It was really ridiculous.
It was 33 to 18 or so.
It was really dumb.
33 and 18, that's what it was. 33 people crossed while they weren't supposed to, and then 18 crossed when they were.
Also, a lot of our stuff that we put in here, the islands, those are meant for crossing time because, we've all been there, where I was quick, run, and it's turning, you have less and less time to run.
In the middle and wait.
You can just stop, wait for it to turn again. And a lot of outdoor stuff is to raise, so drivers can see the pedestrians while they're waiting, so they can stop ahead of time. And what we found out is that widening the crosswalks, instead of a crosswalk usually start here, but we extended it to here. Usually the drivers will sort of stop here instead of here, and so it's safer.
So if you have this much room to walk, the drivers will stop here. But if you have from here to here to walk, the drivers will stop here.
Also, it's not all about the crosswalks. A lot of people that at night, some people wear dark clothes and it's really hard to see them. We found out when we interviewed some of the police officers that most of the time it's not half the time it's not really the drivers, it's the people they're wearing dark clothes, and he had this huge book of restrictions and everything to do with crossing.
Also, thing is that sometimes the jaywalkers themselves are distracted.
We once saw somebody jaywalking with an iPod in their ears and carrying a cell phone, looking down at it. What the heck?
I also noticed that a lot of drivers have and even it's a percentage of people have a distraction. It's too high, and it's between drivers, jaywalkers, and normal walkers.
Yeah.
So it's really inefficient.
One of the things probably, that I don't know, but probably what in most accidents happen is distracted pedestrian and slightly distracted driver, or distracted driver and slightly distracted pedestrian.
Or both of them.
Yeah. So any other questions?
When that happens, one person's just walking and looking down, and the other person's just driving with their eyes closed, and then.
All right. So any other questions?
So what you come up with, did you share that with, I forgot the last name, but Nancy,
Bahana.
Yeah.
Well, we told her what we were doing and what before we interviewed her, and she thought it was a great thing that we're doing FLL. And then we got all that information, and we didn't put down the stats. We incorporated our skit, not the numbers, but how we would put the crosswalk.
Because when we saw the good intersection and the bad intersection, we didn't tell about that, but we told what made the good intersection good and what made the bad one bad.
In case you guys are wondering, it was my idea for the opera, not Miles. But apparently
from a design standpoint, there are communities who I think would look at crosswalks and island crosswalks like that in a favorable way, but then there are people who oppose them because the drivers themselves are, will hit them or they're not really used to driving with them. Do you have any recommendations as to how you would sort of balance that?
Well,
that effect?
we kind of, well, we kind of had like sort of doing a compromise between pedestrians and drivers. But we actually found out that like the islands, sorry, our island drawings aren't that amazing, but the actual islands, like they're sort of upraised in this way so that drivers can see them. So it's not like really.
Well, there's a sign on them, one of those things that say rock. There's one of those right in the middle of it. So the drivers, if they hit the island, they're going to crash right into a pole. It's like hitting the traffic light on the side of the
I'll
road.
give you right outside the high school here is you go out on Amwell Road. You'll see there's a crosswalk with an island and a boulevard and the design that works pretty well.
Also, in a lot of places, there's like reflectors on the road or on the sides,
And
so drivers can actually see the lanes, especially on highways.
And there's a company, I just found this out yesterday during journalism. There's a company that installs these little blinker lights. You can install them down inside the crosswalk, like every 2 feet or so. And what it is somehow it's some clear substance that's really, really, really hard, like as hard as the road, expands and contracts in the same way the heat. So they put a bubble of that in, but inside that they put a light that flashes when given a sensor. And they give different types of sensors, like push button, time to go to traffic light. Like there's even one where as soon as someone steps on the crosswalk, the extra weight on the crosswalk from that side where the curve is where the drivers can't drive without breaking the law, it starts the crosswalk up. Like the flashing lights on and it just
Well, I'll tell you, I'm a land use planner, and that's, I'm involved in this quite a lot. So I think you guys did some tremendous research, and you really have a real understanding of the topic in terms of crosswalks and the aspect of safety for pedestrians first. In my opinion, the cars have to adjust to the way the pedestrians use space. But I think you also said it's important that it works both ways. The pedestrian has to at least be aware of their environment. Right.
Yeah.
And you clearly have a tremendous amount of passion about your topic. And quite honestly, the lively discussion here
Right.
is very valuable. You should really encourage yourselves to continue to do that because I think that really helps illustrate your.
One of the things I think you have right now, and I think from a practical standpoint, is you've done looking at these areas. If you photograph them, you've actually taken pictures of these good examples that you find. That's what you really need to be able to start establishing is have those photographs of places that you think work really well, and then places that you don't think work as well, and then it gives you sort of an ability to compare other areas for important safe crosswalks.
So I think we need to come back now. I'm really sorry, but competition is, we've got to put it in between teams.
Yes, we have to
Thank
keep
you.
the time.
It was really
It was
wonderful.
great.
And
Thank you very
when
much.
we were in New York, we took some videos of the good and bad intersections.
We weren't lying about saying
You're
that
gonna
for
be
our
a
life purpose.
future planner.
We were like,
He's a future
must
planner.
have website.